Welcome everyone. And today what I want to speak about is relationships. And especially how a person needs to or should live their life in order to attract the right person. I'm sure it's a topic that everyone has a desire to know more about, as most people in this world, if not everyone, desires better and better relationships in their life. And the first thing that we want to understand about relationships, and especially soulmate relationships, is it's not about finding the right person. It's not about waiting for the right person to come to me. It's not about when am I going to meet this person. Many times when we ask these questions, we've completely missed the point. And in fact, that's the number one way to attract the wrong people, is to look for the right people. The way a person attracts slowly into their life the person that is best for them is, of course, by focusing consistently on changing themselves. And this runs so deep, it's not something that we can just speak about in a little seminar now, but there's so many layers to it, and so many layers that a person learns when over many, many years of studying Kabbalah. And it's obviously we're going to speak about a simple aspect of it now, and what is a way we can start our work. And of course, if you want to learn more about it, it's something you should speak to a personal Kabbalah teacher about, if you don't have one, and then maybe even to watch deeper classes about this subject. Let's first start with understanding who we are. We are vessels, and according to our vessel, we attract a certain type of energy. Now, if my vessel, let's say, is likened to a light bulb is a 60-watt bulb, let's say. 60-watt bulb can hold how much energy, or can reveal how much light? 60 watts. That's all it can do. If I put 80 watts of energy into a 60-watt bulb, what am I going to get? An explosion. It's not going to work. And many people in this world, they have these 60-watt bulbs. Who they are is just 60 watts. But they're looking for someone who is 80 watts, 100 watts, who looks like this, who feels like that, who makes me feel like this, and all these extra energies. But the problem is that the reason why the Creator doesn't bring it instantaneously is because their vessel can't handle it. And by the way, that goes with everything. That goes with business, that goes with ideas, thoughts, success, wealth, everything. If my vessel can't handle it, I'm not going to attract it. It's not about finding the right person. It's about building the right vessel and attracting this person into my life. So we first start with this concept of building my vessel. And I want you to take a moment right now and ask yourself, am I living my life day to day just building my vessel? Or am I spending a lot of my time, a lot of my thoughts, a lot of my money even, trying to find the right person? How much energy are you investing in building yourself versus seeking out that right person? Take a moment and think about that. So let's speak a little bit about what each gender would need to do to help build their vessel to attract the right person. Let's start with men. Men are an easy one. Men, according to Kabbalah, are considered to be channels of energy. What they are supposed to do is pull down the light and act as a channel to the partner or person to receive that energy. Let's speak about male and female relationships specifically. And perhaps we'll speak about male and male and female relationships another time. As far as male and female relationships are concerned, the man is supposed to be the one who channels the energy, and the female is the one who receives the energy and manifests the energy that the man brings. That's why men are constantly in a creative mode, and women are much more in a balanced receiving mode. Women have the tendency, for example, to feel more insecure than men. Why? Because the way a woman has been built, she's been built to receive. So she always has the tendency not to feel good enough, not to feel proud enough, not to feel completely adequate, because she's always depending on an energy to come in for her to manifest. So she could have that tendency, which we'll talk about women specifically, but first about men. A man's job is to channel energy. How does a man channel energy? He needs to be like the light. He needs to all the time be in a giving mode. That's the reason why a man was created. A man was created to be in giving mode. So if a man is selfish, if a man is thinking about himself, if a man just wants to sit on the couch and enjoy himself and ignore his responsibilities, he's not acting like a man anymore. He's not acting like a man. He's acting more like a woman, like a vessel who just needs to receive. A woman is meant to receive, but a man is meant to share. And a man needs to be in constant giving mode. Constant giving mode. Part of being a giver means to change. Take responsibility for who he is. Take responsibility for the attributes of anger and selfishness and doubt and uncertainty and negative thoughts. Because all of those things don't make him a giver, they make him a receiver. So he's no longer playing his role, and as a result, he's not going to attract the right person. But especially in the energy of relationships, a man sometimes abuses his sexual energy, looks to take energy from other women, from circumstances. It can even be pornography. It can even be flirting. It can be something where a man is abusing his energy and taking energy. Now, if he's taking energy, he's no longer a man. He's no longer a giver. And it starts with a man deciding, I am ready to take my life seriously, and I want to attract the right person. But with that commitment comes a responsibility to no longer run around looking for energy from women. That means that I can't go on random dates when I know that the date is not going to be good. It's not the person that I should be with, but I'm going to go anyways because I like the energy. I like the energy she gives me. I like the flirting, and maybe something will happen. I'll even get to sleep with that woman, and there's even more energy, but that takes you farther away from the right person. Every time you sleep with the wrong person, it takes you farther away from the right person. Oh, what's the big deal? It says that angels are created. Every time a man abuses his energy, his sexual energy, angels are created that go to his future soulmate and whisper in her ear that she should not be with him. Because everything is cause and effect. And if I want to earn my soulmate, I can't be messing around in other areas of my life. It starts with a commitment if I really want to be different and I want to settle down. I want. With that commitment, it's followed up by actions of taking responsibility for my life. First, taking responsibility for my negative attributes, my selfishness, my need to always be into myself, my need to be into my TV show, my work, my world, my playtime, my hobbies, my basketball, my football, my fishing, my this, my that. And say, 1 second. Those things are great, and I can live my life doing things that I love to do. But am I doing them at the expense of really being there for other people? You'll see many times we should be with other people, but instead we choose to just be with ourselves and do what we want to do and see the movies we want to see and just be into ourselves. All men are alike. We're all the same. We all have high dreams, high aspirations, but many times we forget that it's about how can I use my talents, my abilities for the sake of other people and to work on myself, not to get an ego from it. Not to get out of control from it. This is a man's job. And if a man truly wants to get close to the right woman, he needs to learn not to criticize women. This is a big thing. Because when a man is complaining and criticizing about a woman or about anybody, he's not acting like a man anymore. He's acting like a woman. He's acting like a receiver. When a person complains, he's not a giver, he's a receiver. That's when a man disconnects from his soul, when he starts complaining, moaning, groaning, and criticizing other people. We can take all these things into perspective, men, and we can learn how to attract the right person, the right partner, the right woman into our lives. And now for women. Women also have a similar responsibility. A woman's tendency can be, I'm not saying all women, can be to be dependent on something outside of themselves. Why? Again, women intrinsically, since the time of creation, were created as vessels to receive energy and manifest that energy. So deep down inside, a woman feels like she's already missing something. She needs and requires another energy. That's how a woman feels if she's not spiritual. If a woman doesn't have any spirituality in her life, she always feels like she's dependent. She's dependent on a man, she's dependent on security, she's dependent on her future, she's always trying to plan things, because she's trying to create some kind of stability in her life. And this is where a woman can mess up and especially scare away a man. It's when she becomes too dependent and needy and insecure. So a woman's job, in order to pull the soulmate towards her, in order to pull the right person towards her, is she needs to perfect herself and realize she doesn't need anyone. To be happy being by herself. Ladies, how many times can you remember that you were alone for a long period of time and you didn't have some kind of stimulus like friends or your new job or some kind of success, but you really just were alone for a long time without any outside influences or energies, and you were still happy with yourself? Many times you'll see we're not happy unless we have something going on in our lives. For a woman, it's really important that she sees and feels the light that's within her. She doesn't look to anyone for that light but herself. And that's obviously a whole lengthy spiritual process of learning and observing every opportunity in life to realize the light's inside of me. I don't need the light of this man. I don't even need a man. It says that a woman can finish her entire correction in this world without a man, alone. She can do it alone. But a man, he can only do so much. He can only do so much without a woman or a partner. But a woman can do it by herself. That says a lot. That means that a woman has the power within her. She just needs to awaken it. And the opponent that's in this world that makes it difficult for us to connect with the light, that opponent, that voice of the Satan, of the evil inclination, will always tell a woman, no, you need this, you need that. You need to call him, you need to be needy. You need to look for him. A woman does not need to look for a man. Should never look for a man. You should realize you are the light. Yes, you're a vessel to receive that light, but you also have the light within you. You've got to awaken it. And once you awaken it, you awaken that light within your vessel, then you can receive the real light. And it won't make you out of balance. Most women, when they meet a man, they become imbalanced. Because they weren't ready to handle that energy because they didn't reveal their light first. A woman should have her own success, her own independence, her own everything. And this way, when she attracts the man, a man needs to not feel like you depend on him. Most men, especially spiritual men, don't like when a woman is dependent on him. And the reason is because it doesn't fit in the model of creation. So for a man, we learn he needs to be a sharing person on many, many levels and not be a complainer, not be a victim, and change himself. And for a woman, we've learned she has to believe in herself, become independent, reveal the light within her soul. And although this is very general, you can learn more and more about it. And it's not something you achieve in months or even years. It takes a long time to really get to that place where I've mastered the ability to be the man I need to be or the woman I need to be. And it doesn't mean that you get your soulmate at the end. Maybe you get him in the process. But you got to show the universe that you're moving along that line. Men are becoming more sharing, less selfish, transformative beings. And women are becoming less dependent, more secure, more individuals who have their own success and love themselves for who they are. And in this way, the man and the woman can come together.